Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The end of 2019 was the beginning of a nightmare that was never imagined by all of mankind on this earth. Why? Because many hopes and dreams must be dashed on this year. Not only that, the attention and loss of loved ones also must be felt on this year. All of this happened because of one thing, a thing that we know as the coronavirus disease or COVID-19. Various efforts have been made by the community, especially the government, to fight a COVID-19. One of them is the existence of vaccine. So the question is, can this vaccine be aware of the current pandemic to afflict humans? Together with me, Rahayu Komala from Pharmacy University of Muhammadiyah, Professor Dr. HAMKA, who will give my opinion about vaccine, yes or no. Based on WHO timeline COVID-19, in December 2019, the Health Commission of the City of Wuhan, China, reported a case of pneumonia in Wuhan, Hubei province. A novel coronavirus has finally been identified. And after that, on March 11, 2020, WHO announced that the COVID-19 could be categorized as a pandemic. The first case of COVID-19 in Indonesia was announced by the President of Republic Indonesia, Mr. Joko Widodo, on March 2, 2020. At that time, there were already 2 Indonesian citizens who positively identified COVID-19. And 2 weeks after that, the President of Republic Indonesia also announced that the Indonesia implement large-scale social restriction. After a month implement large-scale social restriction, finally on January 13, 2021, Indonesia was carry out the first vaccination, which given to the President of Republic Indonesia as the first person who received the vaccine. However, the existence of this vaccine raised many pro and con among the public. Many people support the government vaccination program, but not a few people also doubt about the effectiveness and the side effect from this vaccine after various news from social media. Whereas the vaccine that given in general public, it has been in a third phase clinical trial in accordance with the standard set by WHO and has an efficacy result of 65.23%. It means this vaccine has at least an effect or function to protect our body from COVID-19 virus around 65.23%. This vaccine also received an emergency use of authorization from BPOM. So we talk about vaccine, but what is a vaccine? Okay, let me tell you. Vaccines are a biological product that contain antigen in the term of microorganism or their part or substance that produce which has been processed in such a way that they are safe. So when it given to a person, it will be causing active specific immunity against certain disease. Vaccination is an aim at breaking the chain of disease transmission and stop the outbreak, but in the long term to eliminate and eradicate the disease itself. So another question is, are there any side effects from this vaccine? Quote from kesmas.kemkes.go.id, the side effects from the vaccine are very generally small and temporary, not always be present, and depends on the condition of your body. The benefit of vaccine far greater than the getting risk, because in fact, if not a vaccine, and if you have been vaccinated, you still have to implement the health protocol like wearing masks, washing hands, and also social distance. With the vaccination program, is expected to generate immunity group or herd immunity. The immunity group on this situation are most of people protect or resistant to certain disease causing indirect effect, and which help protection of vulnerable group and is not a target of vaccination. This condition is only can be achieved with a high and equitable vaccination coverage. So ladies and gentlemen, therefore, let us support the government vaccination program so this COVID-19 will be end soon and we can be return to our normal activities, and also to the government expect to be open to the public about the implementation of vaccination, about the as the result of the test, and also about the side effect from this vaccine, and also safety and lawful from this vaccine. And the public is also be careful and not be easily to consume a hoax news from social media. However, many official sites that you can visit that talk about vaccination and COVID-19, such as covid19.go.id, who.int, and kesmas.go.id, that you can easily access by your smartphone. So be smart and wise. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all of my speech. I'm sorry if any words and behave that unpleasing your heart. I hope is useful for you all. Thank you for your occasion and kind attention. Billahi fisabilillah, fastabikul khairat. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.